Yes! First day of fall, looking hella glamorous on camera. Funny thing is, ooh, I'm shining. I like this look. Hey fall, hey Libra season. So I was gonna make this video last week, but I just didn't feel like it. Literally every day I was like, not today. And one of the things that I really feel like I am mastering is noticing my body, noticing when something feels good or doesn't feel like the right time. And then I woke up this morning and being the Libra that I am, it's the first day of Libra season. It is also the fall equinox. So all things are in balance. And I was ready. And I got all glammed up for you. So don't sign up for the program if you expect me to look this glamorous all the time, because you will be gravely disappointed. So I filmed that other video, first day of Libra season, a couple days ago, early in the morning when I was feeling myself all dolled up in highlighter on fleek. And though I looked great, there were things that I didn't say in the video that I think are the core of what I want you to hear me say. And it was 16 minutes and I really want this shit to be 10. And this is what I look like for most of the program. My heavy ass titties, hang gang, that's our new thing that we have in the program. For those of us with heavy titties and heavy bellies that hang over. So you're welcome to join that. But this is me, this is my real life. That's me too. I mean, I am a bad bitch, but I don't have my eyebrows on and my 75 pieces of jewelry and my hair newly tousled most of the time. And maybe you can identify with her, maybe you can identify with me. Both of those are part of who I am, but I really just wanted to give it another shot based on some things I've really been thinking about the last couple of days. My birthday is coming, which I always use as a time for self-reflection. And this program has been such a big part of my life the last few years. And as I'm getting ready to gear up to open it back up for enrollment for next year, of course, I'm doing a lot of reflection on it and my life. And I've learned a lot in the program. I've poured my heart into it these last couple of years. It continues to change. I continue to change. And I'm getting really clear about who I am and who I'm not, and what I offer and what I don't. And I think that that's at the sort of core of what I want to share in this program. You can get all the nuts and bolts and shit. It's 11 p.m. But you can get the nuts and bolts on the website. I really want to focus on getting to the core sort of what it is and what it isn't, because this is a year of our lives together or more. Some people are in their second year and are going to do it again. So this is like building. My hope is that it builds a really deep connection. And I always, whether it's on social media or in this program, come from a very vulnerable place that comes out of just like my truest self, because I don't know how else to be anymore. And there was a time when that was not true. And so I just want to continue to come from just my rawest, realest place. So there's a lot of people doing dope work in the world right now. There's a lot of people that you can fuck with, that you can do programs with, that you can learn with, that you can be a part of what they're doing, and I highly suggest that. And I'm having to learn that just because I have thoughts on everything and I have experience on everything doesn't mean everything needs to be in this program. It's a lot. It's a lot to cover, and it's a lot of me trying to be all those things because I have opinions about them, and I'm living through them, and I'm witnessing the folks that I work with live through them. So of course I want to try and address everything, but I think it does a disservice to me and to the community to cast the net that wide. So for instance, I really included social media in this year's program, 2019, because I was taking a break from it personally for a million reasons, which you'll get to know all about if you choose to be in the program. And maybe I'll share in general, even if you're not in the program. But I was sort of afraid to take a break from social media for the program because I felt like you all met me there. People are already on Instagram. How else do we build community in an online space? But I really worked my ass off this year to try and challenge that. Like, how else can we build community? And it's not because Instagram sucks. There's a million fucking dope things about Instagram. I don't care if you're on that shit all day long. I don't want to be on it. And this is my life and my program. So I'm not going to build a program around a thing that I don't want to build my life around. And that ultimately
my values right now are not aligned with us spending so much time on that app. And again, it's not shitting on it. It's done great things for me. I wouldn't dare like, well, that's not true. You can bite the hand that feeds you. It is, in my opinion, really still is a tool of obviously capitalism and white supremacy. The voices that are shadow banned there and the voices like mine that are lifted is, I don't support it from a like core foundational level. It's a tool, blah, blah, blah. The master's tools should not dismantle the master's house. You know all the rules. But it's not the point. It's more that what I'm trying to model in the program is a slowness. And is a getting free. That's what the shit is called. And it's going to mean different things to different people, what you're getting free from. But I think right now, all of us could stand to get free a little bit from the like chokehold that this social media like generation has on us. We didn't grow up in this shit. If you're old, if you're anywhere near my age, you grew up before fucking cell phones, let alone before some app that we are spending 5, 6, 8 hours a day on. So I am not using Instagram for next year's program. We've been playing around with WhatsApp. It's been really sweet and sort of personal, like group texts. You may choose not to be involved in that part. I'm gonna fly around the country like I did this year and gather folks in your cities. Not everyone, because it's coming out of, you know, my pocket. I'm not charging you for this, but I think that it's important to really build the kind of community that I'm envisioning, and I think it's working. But it's slow and it's risky, and it takes a risk on my part to not use the tools that so many of us have relied on. And so if you are signing up for this program, I just want to be really clear that you know that that's a big part of it. That again, I'm not asking you to get off social media, though I will talk about doing detoxes a lot. So a lot of the group right now, for instance, is experimenting with taking September off of social media and dipping in when, you know, we have a WhatsApp group where we talk about it all the time, about what that feels like and where the challenges are and what the pulls are. But so I want to be clear about the social media thing. I want to be clear that really like the 3 core content areas, and again, there's a gang of shit within those, and there's some flexibility about what we discuss. But my first year in the program, there were 12 modules, 12 fucking things I was trying to cover in depth, and that's just not possible, really. And so I've broken it down this year into 3 core concepts, which is inner, outer, and together. And I feel like those are the things, and I know every year when I get what I'm really excited about. I'm excited about the mind. I'm excited about meditation, and not in the traditional sense. Confession, I've been a Buddhist for 15 years almost. Is that possible? And I'm kind of a shitty meditator, so this isn't about sitting on a mat and being quiet. And if Buddhists will say there's no such thing as a shitty meditator, but we all know if you've tried to meditate that you feel like you're doing it wrong. So I just want to name that I still have that feeling all these years later, and that I've tried to figure out what does mindfulness look like. You know, I put on Instagram back when I was trying to create clever things to say that my whole life is a meditation, and I really do believe that. I really do. I believe that the way I walk through my day and my life is a meditation, and that's what I'm trying to teach. Not necessarily how to make you quiet on a mat, though that's dope too, and we'll practice some of that. Pancake has allergies, real life. So, for real, you trying to take my phone? Come here. Come here. At least be cute with the loud ass noise. So the first section of the program, and I love shit in threes, but so the first, you know, part of the program is really getting to know ourselves. Really, the whole program is about getting to know ourselves. Like, what does it look like? Not necessarily when you turn social media down, but when you turn down all these, you know, social norms around our bodies, around our minds, around productivity and rest and accumulation and, you know, body image. What is that? What do we believe about our fucking selves and our life, like our real fucking lives, when we turn all the volume down? And so, and that means for me, even turning the volume down on the program a little bit and be willing to take the risk that there's going to be some times where you're like, this shit is slow or this is boring. But there's also going to be times where you feel like, and more often than not, I hear people say in the program, like, I feel like I can't keep up because there's just, you know, there's so much and I feel behind. And that's the last thing I want you to feel. I'd rather you feel bored than behind, because I feel like all of social media if anything, what it is ingrained in our psyche is that we're all behind in our life because we don't have the fucking partner, or our kids don't act like the kids, you know, that are in those cute ass fucking photos. My child doesn't even let me take photos of him, let alone post them on social media. That our jobs and our money and our bodies, there's a million ways that the world is already making you feel like you're behind. And I just want to make you feel like you're a part of something. And there's going to be times where you don't feel like you're a part of it. If you have had challenges in your life connecting, you're still going to have challenges in the program connecting. But I'm going to honor that and be with you in that. And there's other people who are pushing through that. There's been so much beauty this year in people just saying, this is really hard for me to ask for help. This is hard for me. We've done this thing where we've really been pooling money and showing up for people financially who are in need. And just the beautiful act of saying, like, I need your support, whether it's emotional or physical or financial, has been really beautiful for me to witness. So there's no promises. There's no promises of, you know, changing your life. I'm going to share over the, you know, the course of promoting the program, all these, what are they called? Testimonials, right? And they're true. These are what people said about the program, and they say it's life-changing, and I really do believe that it is. But it might not. It might not change your life. And honestly, I price it at a point that I know for some of you still feels like a lot. But compared to anyone else doing anything like this, I'm trying to make it accessible, and I'm trying to make it to where you just are opting in to have some guidance and some community in doing this work. Because if we just continue to look at our challenges as individual and we don't see that there's a collective and a structural, systematic problem with our society, then honestly, to me, all the work is in vain. I'm not trying to just get free for myself, you know? Nobody's free until we're all free. These are all quotes by Black women that it's midnight and I can't think of. That's like maybe Fannie Lou Hamer. And the other one, yeah, you get the point. But just crediting Black women for everything. And all the Black women in this program that spend their year with my white ass and trust that I will cause as little harm as possible and create a community of real, you know, trust. I try, and I think that that is one of my strengths, is really building community and being in community. I'm not building it from over here and, you know, puppeteering the whole thing. I'm in the community with you. I am part of it. I have my shit too. I share my shit. I have struggles just like everybody else. And so, but just wanting to be clear that it's not going to cover all the things, and they're going to be things that you are going to want to study, and I need to, as part of my development as a professional and as a woman, get really clear on what my parameters are and what I'm offering to you. So there's the intersection about the mind, about our patterns, about slowing down, about unhooking from capitalism and this go, 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 fucking keep up. You're going to feel like you're behind, and every time you feel like you're behind, I'm going to challenge you to let that shit go, because that is a tool of white supremacy, the perfectionism, the you know, overachievement. That shit's not necessary here. So this is not about building shame. It's about kind of deprogramming the shame that I feel like we're sort of really taught in the workplace and in schools, etc. The second section of the program is called Outer. It is about style, which sounds shallow, but this year really solidified for me. There's nothing fucking shallow about it. It is about how we show up in the world. It is about our identities. It is about our intersecting identities. It is about our relationship to each other. It's about our childhood and our parents and our culture. There's just so much in style. And then that kind of bleeds into the section about bodies and how we show up in our bodies, how we live in our bodies, how we touch our bodies and feel our bodies and look at our bodies and are naked in our bodies. And that section is really, if anything, sort of the core, the meat of the program. We ease in. It's winter and spring in the beginning. It's slow, and we ease into the summer that's just like bursting with light. And we talk about our bodies, and we share our naked bodies, and we have a fucking WhatsApp group where there's just nothing but like titties and breast cancer scars and panty recommendations, and it's just like the girl gang of your dreams. No promises, but I'm just saying, that WhatsApp group is popping. It's called Get Naked, Get Free, which is my hashtag. I'm good at hashtags. And so that's the summer. And then for fall and winter again, we talk about connection. We talk about being together. We talk about love, lost love, our traumas around love, the love we wanted and didn't find, platonic love, how to find love in each other, in community, and in ourselves. And that's the shit that I'm good at. Those are the things I'm good at talking about, is the mind and our behaviors. And I really do believe, if I, just to sum up the program, and then I'm going to end this shit, because now it's 16 minutes of fucking getting, damn, I talk so much. Yeah, you are who you are. One of these days I'm going to send an email about this thing that I've been examining. Actually, I'm going to send it in my birthday email, which you will probably gotten already if you're watching this video, about 39 things that I'm thinking about. Hopefully I send that and you're not like, when did that email come? Hopefully I get to it. 39 things for my 39th birthday that I'm thinking about. And one of them is about how everything is not meant to be fixed and changed. If you have a fucking pattern, if you have a thing, I talk a lot. I just talk a lot. I talked a lot in school. I got in trouble my whole life for being chatty. It's just who the fuck I am. I'm trying to work on slowing down and being more concise. But I'm just a talkative ass bitch. Shoot me. So the 3 pillars of the program really are knowledge of self. I do think that's important. I don't think we just skip over that. I think that that's why so many activists and community organizers are burnt out, because the knowledge of self. I also think that is why there's so many of us that are single mothers, and there's so many of us that are in abusive relationships, because patriarchy does not make room and capitalism does not make room for women to have a knowledge of self. So there's a lot of that in the program, knowledge of self. But then that shit ain't nothing if all you have is knowledge of self, because then you think that if you just change all these things about yourself, that it's going to fix everything. And that's not acknowledging, one, the power of community and how we change ourselves and we change those around us, and we change on a massive scale when a lot of us start shifting the narrative and the cultural norms. And then the third, this is my triangle, my Rockefeller, the third pillar of the program is looking at the structural and systematic injustices in society and realizing that you're caught up because of those, not because of your individual flaws. So, you know, again, there's going to be parts of the program that feel like really aligned with where you're at, and there's going to be parts that are not. And I just need to name this, though it's so fucking icky to talk about money, but I think it's really important. It's a financial commitment for the whole year. I allow people to pay monthly because who has a big ass chunk of money like that? Not the demographic that I want to work with, but except you're free to pay in full if you happen to have that money. But I make it really doable in monthly payments, but it's not a monthly program. So you're not signing up for January and February, and then when we start talking about meditation or journaling or whatever, you don't really like that part and you bail on the community and you bail on me. It is a commitment, which I think is an important practice for all of us, to be disciplined and commit to something. Now this shit is 17 minutes and it's longer than the other one. But this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get 11 p.m. rants from me that will come in the form of a podcast. I have a podcast just for the program. You get a weekly podcast. You get a weekly newsletter. You get a workbook that's beautiful and I've poured my heart into, and I'm gonna rework each year because that's just what I do. And then you get this community, in-person connections and meetups, these WhatsApp groups that are popping, and we both cross our fingers that it helps you in some way and that you feel shifted and that you feel a little more free at the end of the time together. So thanks for letting me, I was laying in bed and I was like, I gotta say this shit. This is what I really wanted to say. So I was cute in the other video, but I was real in this one. I love you. I hope you'll join us. And if not, I hope you find what you're looking for in some other program or some other guide or some other teacher or some other friend, or most importantly, in yourself. Ciao.